I personally have the -A 3.1 USB version. At this time, you'll want to go download the correct files. VirtualBox is the main one. I'm not going to walk you through the install process because that's pretty easy. But you just want to go to Windows Host and start downloading the correct, most up-to-date one if you don't have it, or you can update yours. I'm going to be using Linux Mint. Just click on Downloads on linuxmint.com, and then you can use the Cinnamon 32-bit, and yeah, just pick an area close to you. Sorry for the brain fart, and we'll move on from here. So you download them and you put those files somewhere that you feel comfortable with. Probably not a floppy drive. Okay, so you're at this point now. You got the install. You rebooted your system. We're going to start from scratch here. I'm going to call it Mint. It's a 32-bit version, Ubuntu, whatever. Give it as much memory as you like. I like to bump it up to at least a decent amount. That's cool with me. Let's see, we're going to create a virtual hard disk now. I just like creating a fixed amount. If you were going to be making one that was going to be moved over to a VM or another service, I believe you want to use these other ones. But for right now, we'll just use the VirtualBox disk image. I like to do fixed, but if you plan on using this a lot and want to install a bunch of things in it, I don't know why, but usually I just make one for one set purpose and call it that. Hit next. In my experience, no more than, you don't do more than 12 gigs. It just, there's not enough space. But I could be wrong. I could be doing something wrong. But we'll do 14. Something. So now it's creating it. It's going to take a couple seconds. Is that going on? Close Chrome. Not needed anymore. And I'm going to show you the air that's coming up. It's going to give you the air screen after we try booting up our ISO file that we downloaded from linuxmint.com. And once that error comes up, I'll kind of explain why a little bit and how to fix it. I'll show you how that's done. It looks like we're almost done here. We got 6 more seconds, it says. Cool, our virtual disk has been made. You see it here, it says Mint right here. So now we want to add our ISO file, if I'm saying that right. You want to make it a live CD by clicking live CD. I already have it here, but if you need to find it, you can locate it here. So we'll just choose this 32-bit one. Go to Systems. I personally just like to choose off everything. And then move Optical to the top. Later on, there's some settings here we maybe want to change, but for right now, we're unable to really do anything with them. So we'll start off now and we'll hit OK. Let me double check one more thing. Right. Oh, yep, got it. Now I'm gonna hit start, and now you're gonna see the error that pops up. Oh no, failed to open session in or for the virtual machine mint. Go to details. So it says VT-X is disabled in your BIOS. So that's pretty simple. Basically, in your BIOS setting, there's a thing called VT-D, and it is in your system agent configuration, if I remember correctly. And you'll see it in a second when I show you. But basically, you're just going to shut down your system. You're going to go into your BIOS by hitting delete or F2. I believe that's the most common way. I usually just hit delete to get in your Asus BIOS on the X99 series. And this will remedy it. So at this point, there's nothing much you could do with booting this system. So from here, we'll just shut down our system, and you'll see the video explaining how to boot up in the BIOS and configure all that magic. See you in 2 seconds when my computer starts back up. You hit F12 on boot up process, and now you're in the Asus BIOS utility. I'm using the Asus motherboard X99 3.1 USB. I'm sure this is the same on the Deluxe and the A series. This is also the A series with the 3.1 port. So if you just go to Advanced, under Advanced, you want to go to CPU configuration. Under here, you want to enable Intel utilization or virtualization technology, and you want to set it to enable under Intel yada yada technology. Cool. So then you want to go back, go to system agent configuration, and make sure Intel VT for direct IO VTD has been enabled. This will also be disabled when you're first on it. So once you have it all enabled, you can go ahead and exit, save changes and restart. And I'll show you now how it looks when it boots. So we're back. I actually had all those settings previously configured, and just for this video, I went and turned them off, turned them back on, turned them back on again, turned them back off, because for some weird reason I don't know how to use OBS yet, and everything I recorded just either sounded like poop or is whatever. Okay, but I'm wasting time now, so let's get into this boot process, because that's going to be another series of things. So if you remember before, it told us to turn on the VT-X setting, or VT-D to be exact. And I went ahead, I read somewhere, and I seemed to have more success with this working when I also turned on the Intel virtualization technology. And it didn't seem to hurt to have it on. I haven't seen any reason why not to, and didn't read anything that told me not, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit start on here and walk you through a quick install process, because I told you I'd show you how to install Linux Mint. But pretty much at this point, you kind of have it. It's gonna take a couple seconds, and let's see. I'm bored. I'm waiting for it. Here we are. You want to click on this install Linux Mint. I know it's a brain twister once you get this far. The real part is just knowing to adjust your motherboard and figuring out what VT-X is referring to. But it tells you right there to go on your motherboard and fix that doohickey. One thing I would suggest is installing the third-party apps, but since I'm not going to waste time in installing more things, I'm just going to hit continue. But I highly suggest, if you plan on using this at any sort of way, even to browse the internet, just put that on. It doesn't hurt. Maybe having flash rates, who knows. I'm not sure how flash rates on Linux. It's confusing to me. Okay, so yeah, you got this stuff here. Let's wipe it. Let's hit continue. This is now wiping, I guess, whatever was on the virtual disk, like your geolocation. I have an English keyboard. And we're now going to name it Mint. Give it a password of password. I don't care. We'll leave it automatically log in. Who cares? Normally I would encrypt my folder because that sounds nice. Encryption? Who doesn't like encryption? So this is the install process. But it should be done soon here. Actually copying files over. So I'm going to just pause for a second so you don't hear me rant anymore, and then come right back to you once we've finished the install. So now it's fully installed. It's asking us to restart now. I'm just going to go ahead and restart it. And then normally I just shut it back down and pop it back up again because it asks me to inject the medium. But please remove the install medium. Usually do that afterwards. It usually boots up. Sometimes it gives me an error right now. But it should boot correctly if everything goes to plan. If not, you just shut down, restart it back up. It usually works correctly at that point. And if not, just try reinstalling again because you did something funny. And yeah, it's really not that hard and it's pretty quick to install. I think we're in. Normally it will hit you with a login screen, but I just chose login automatically, and now you can see. Yeah, on, booted, boom. I disappeared for a second. That was crazy looking. I don't know how that happened, but something maybe with my CPU. I don't know. I'll see in the recording, but it looked like I disappeared for a second. But I'm still here. Thank you guys for watching this video, and if you liked it, please just support me by checking out my website, and I hope you guys enjoyed and look forward to hopefully you guys watching more. So thank you and have a great day.